For me, my intention, and in Anusara Yoga, we have two main intentions. One is that we do increase our sensitivity and our awakening to the interconnectedness of life, celebrating the diversity of life, from the children to the elderly, to all colors, all races, all religions, and all cultures, that see life as sacred, that we do a practice, that we live a life, that we can affirm the sacredness and the beauty of life and the blessing of life. That's the first. Can we awaken to the interconnectedness of the sacredness of life? And when you're doing that, you don't have to have somebody say recycle, because you're going to naturally not want to pollute the earth. You're going to be nice to people. It just comes out of you because you feel the interconnectedness. Why would you wouldn't hurt somebody else if you felt like you were totally connected. The second main intention is to be joyful, is to be happy and to celebrate our life, to make art, to do things just like, for me, the asanas, the yoga poses are art. They're beautiful. And that's one thing that when we're looking at a yoga competition, we're kind of looking at an art contest as far as I'm concerned. You're looking to see, does the person exude and emulate the highest about life, that when you see beauty, do you think something beyond your smallness? Do you think something grand? When I think of something beautiful, when I see a beautiful flower, or you hear a baby laughing, you hear a symphony, I think of something that is grand, spirit, whatever you want to call it, the universe, God. For me, that's the highest beauty. So these poses are, in the ultimate sense, artistic expressions of the heart, that we say life is good, and so we make art with our bodies. And that, for me, is like dance. If you want to go dancing, you want to play a game, you want to play any sport, you do it in a way that is at the highest level of excellence. You do it in a way that affirms life and enhances life. Not, it wouldn't include sports necessarily where we're trying to literally hurt somebody else. So yoga for me fundamentally is about the intention of awakening and bringing joy to life. And then there's actually ways to do it. There's literally technique. It's not like you just stretch and you bend over and you're going to be happy. The body is very highly organized. The energy that moves in the body has very clear systematic model. It's models that have been used by the Chinese, that have been used by the Indians for thousands of years. If you ever go to an acupuncturist or you go to an acupressure person, they're going to check points of energy on your body. There are different channels inside us. There's one central channel that runs through the core of the body. There are 6 on either side of this main channel, and there are many tributaries, tens of thousands of tributaries that run through the body. And on these lines of energy, there are specific points that can be tapped where your energy flow can increase. This is essentially the theory behind acupuncture. But how did the Chinese know this? How did the Indians know this? Thousands of years ago, and even today, we don't even have the equipment that easily can recognize these things. This is from the practices of the yoga. The practices of the yoga that came from India, moved northward through into China. These are practices of recognizing, being able to know the energy inside your own body and being able to build the energy, open up channels that have been blocked, expanding not only energy, but energy that's intertwined with consciousness, for it's all the same. If your energy is imbalanced, your mind will be imbalanced, your emotions can be imbalanced. So there's technique on how to balance the energy flow. We use breathing practices, these asana practices there's ways of literally, in every pose, you can literally manipulate or control the energy in your body, which is, again, consciousness. You can do it, you can increase energy in your body and become healthy and powerful, but it doesn't mean that you're spiritual. You can have a lot of energy that shines through your eyes and is inside you, and you can literally influence others, but it doesn't mean that it's good. So the intention of our practice, the way that I practice, is to enhance life, to bring more happiness to everyone, not to use my power to manipulate or to influence in the negative, to hurt people or to block their own joy. And that's a very important distinction. So there is technique, and lastly, it's about the action, literally putting your practice and taking it off the mat and putting it into your life. That you're able to, when you look back at your life and say, what did I do? What was I a champion of my life? Was I successful in my life? You look back, when you have a lot of energy, you have the power to do it, but it doesn't mean you're going to do it. Are you going to help others? And just even your immediate family. Do you bring happiness to yourself and your family? These are simple, basic criteria, but these are the criteria we use in yoga. So that's just a little overview, and the good news is, the way I look at it is, when I started doing yoga in the 70s in Ohio, it wasn't something that was very known or even well received. And even when I started teaching yoga in the 80s, it wasn't something that I was necessarily proud of. I was, and someone says, what do you do for a living? And I'd go like, a yoga teacher, or I do physical therapy. But now you can be proud to actually say that you do yoga. For a lot of people have a positive view of it. The more that we become educated, and that's part of my intention, is to put out more of the history of yoga, put out more of the classic and the traditional teachings of yoga, that I believe that it can help all of us, and it can help everybody around the world. And again, all the different cultures, and it's for everybody. It's not like, in my class, it's not like if you can't bend forward, yoga's not right for you. In fact, if you can't bend forward, yoga is right for you. So a lot of guys think, they see some of the really flexible people, and they think, I'm too stiff for that, I can't do that. Using the technique and using the right attitude, they're people that are not only beautiful in their bodies, but most important, they're beautiful in their heart.